Good morning, everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Rifki Abdillah. I'm a student of Alabirin Islamic Junior High School. And today, I'd like to give a little talk, which I think will be relevant to you all, relevant to this day and age, about why public speaking is important for everyone. Now, I'd like to start this talk off with a little bit of a question. What impact has public speaking and public speakers had on the world? Now, people come on TEDx, they're all nicely dressed and they got a topic in their mind that they'd like to talk about. And those topics range from a variety of things. Sometimes people want to talk about their experiences or expertise. Sometimes they want to talk about their jobs, their line of work. Sometimes they want to promote a new idea or ideals that they find good and interesting. But it's not often that I find people who talk about what they're doing on stage, the act, the art of public speaking. You see, public speaking, also known as oratory, is the act of delivering speeches on a subject before a live audience. Now, as you can probably imagine, public speaking has been around for quite some time and it's been used for a variety of things, from giving inspiration, motivation, giving knowledge, as well as just for comedy to make people laugh. But I don't think enough people truly realize the impacts that public speaking and public speakers have had on the world. Because there's a saying that actions speak louder than words, and that is true. And yet, if we flip through the pages of history, we'll see that actions and words have had just as much of an impact on the history books as each other. Public speakers, orators, have sparked wars and revolutions with fiery language, but most of them have also brought peace and prosperity. I'll give you an example. On the screen right now is one of the most prominent figures of the 20th century, one of the most prominent figures in American history, one of the most prominent figures in the history of human rights, one of the most prominent figures in the history of the world. You probably see him, you probably know his name, you know what contributions he's made. He and his speech and the speeches of his colleagues are one of the many reasons to the signing of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which ended racial segregation in North America. This is Martin Luther King Jr. Born in 1929, he grew up in a racially segregated America. And in 1963, at a rally in Washington, D.C., he gave one of the most famous speeches in all of human history. You've probably heard it, or at least heard of it. It's called the I Have a Dream speech. And one of my favorite lines from that speech is when he says, "I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will grow up in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." He was one of the good ones. He used his abilities and influence as a public speaker, as a prominent figure in a leading movement, to incite love and compassion. Not every public speaker has done that. There are public speakers who've used their influence, their abilities to incite hate, to incite anger, to divide communities, divide society. So, why do I show you this? Why do I tell you this? Well, I'd like to prove that point. The point that words and actions are a powerful tool, both of them. Not just actions, not just words, but both of them. They are powerful tools. And like any tools, it's up to those who wield them to use them responsibly. Now, I've shown you the impacts that public speaking has had on the world. But what can public speaking do for the world in the now? Well, there are 3 points that I'd like to bring up. Number 1, educate and communicate. See, most people, when they want to express their ideas, their emotions, they create art, they create literature. Think of movies, paintings, books such as autobiographies, novels, manifestos, things like that. The problem is that sometimes the true meaning of those works of art, works of literature, are lost to misinterpretations, misquotations, or misunderstandings. These problems are mostly avoided when someone is on a stage, on a podium, and he's speaking in the moment in front of the crowd, all of his emotions, all of his words coming out of his mouth. That's the first one. It's a very effective way of communicating ideas. Second one, as I've said before, public speaking is a tool of influence. Not just MLK, but many other leaders, world leaders, have used public speaking as a tool to gain support, to influence and sway the minds of their followers, of their people. And the third point, very important, it improves the speaker, not just to the audience who gains knowledge, inspiration, motivation, whatever the speaker is talking about at that time, but also the speaker. What do they get? Confidence, skills of communication, skills that I feel are very much overlooked, but they're still very important in today's day and age. Now, if I haven't persuaded you enough on the importance of public speaking in today's modern world, then I'd like to end this presentation, this talk, with one more question. Why should you learn public speaking? Why should I have to learn public speaking? There's a very simple reason for that, and I feel it's very important that I get this out. You see, the skills and experiences that you get by being a public speaker, they all play into one role, and it's a role that the world really needs right now. A leader. The world needs more leaders, not just people who are competent enough to be good followers, but good leaders. People who can lead and inspire. People who will speak up when no one else can. You see, most of us here in this room, we're all pretty young. And when we grow up, the world that will be placed in our hands is chaotic at best. So, as the younger generation, it is our duty to lead the world into a better place. As I end off this presentation, this talk, I'd like to end with a quote that I hope will resonate with you all. A man's actions can only be done once, but his words will echo forever. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say for today.